everybody, and welcome back to Grand Bazaar. It is yet another Bazaar day, heading back to do this day properly from our last video. I had decided to give an update on the farm and do a little bit of cooking rather than actually go to the bazaar. But this time we're gonna go. I'm going to take the opportunity to do some watering here. And then I can put my watering can away. I did the majority of my inventory management already, but I believe I have some space in my bag. I'm gonna have to take a second look. I may be able to kind of fandangle myself some extra items. But I will water these now and then worry about fertilizing them when I come back. I already watered in my basement prior to starting the video, so that's all done. Certainly does not take long, and I could cut the time down even further if I charged my watering can, but I don't mind just doing it one row at a time. And then if I milk my cows, I can also get rid of my milker. And then I'll have one quick look at the inventory and then decide what else I want to take with me, and then before you know it, it'll be time for the bazaar. Apparently I left quite a bit of inventory space because I was able to get all of that milk and all of those eggs into my bag, which doesn't usually happen on bazaar days. I tend to only leave 2 or 3 spaces. I have brought 1 stack of eggs though, however, just to get rid of them. I have so many eggs and they stockpile like crazy, and it can be hard for me to get rid of them. So it's not going to do me any harm to just sell a stack and get that over and done with. I have made 2 necklaces, but I've decided to only bring 1 today. So I do have one of those in my bag. I've got some seeds, and then just a few things I've made using forageable items, some wool, a little bit of food. I actually don't have a lot for the bazaar today, honestly. I don't even have extra grass seeds or anything to bring along. It's probably worth checking in on the windmills to see if there's anything else that I can bring with me. Like those grass seeds that just popped up. Alright. It might mean that we run out of things a little bit more quickly than usual. I do have some corn seeds and some grass seeds, but my bag feels surprisingly light because I don't even have 2 pages worth of inventory filled up. I have an entire page worth that I could still fill up on if need be. I guess that means I can pick up flowers along the way and not have to worry about inventory space. And I may or may not have some wool. I don't even have wool. So apparently I've been very efficient with making items. I've already picked the windmills clean. I got my bag all ready to go. We're showing up a little bit later today, but I don't really see that being an issue because we'll probably get through our stuff pretty quickly here. I turned all of the yams and the eggplant that I had into some food. I still have some salad to sell from the last bazaar that was left over. I did use up some milk and some eggs to make some omelets. Go ahead and put out all of the seeds nice and early. That will probably be the biggest source of money for me this time around. I'm definitely using all the resources that I've been gathering, but when you think about how much work the farm is, and how much watering and fertilizing, and how much setting up that I have to do, sometimes when you come to the bazaar to sell things, it really doesn't feel like all your hard work has equated to very much. You think to yourself, surely there must be more than that. I do still have lots of eggs at home, and I still have lots of other seeds and whatnot to sort through. But my carrots haven't come in yet, so I've missed out on those. I didn't have any spinach this time around to sell. Or if I did, I left it at home and skipped right over it. And I also don't have the yellow peppers in yet. So this is kind of an awkward in-between bazaar. I have a feeling we will have much more of a variety next time, especially because the carrots and the peppers should really be coming in within a few days. But despite the fact that I'm not feeling super confident today, I gotta say our sales have actually been pretty good so far. Traffic has been nice and steady, so maybe I'm just getting myself paranoid for nothing. Seeds, I think at the end of the day, will always save me as long as I put them out early enough. We've sold almost an entire bag of corn seeds and grass seeds, and that is probably why our sales have been so high. Between those two, that's where we've made a huge chunk of our money. And then once I run out of corn seeds, it's perfect because I now have yellow pepper seeds to replace those. I always have grass seeds to fall back on, but I do try to not depend on those too much, obviously. Feels a little less cheap if you can use the seeds that you grow yourself every season, or at least to me it does. Maybe it's just a little mental thing I tell myself. Lots and lots of traffic now, big groups of people. Our profit is really going up quickly. I think it's gone up about $30,000 in the last 2 hours. I'm only sort of glancing at the clock here and there, but it seems to be going up pretty quickly here. I haven't even really had the time to put out new inventory because I don't want to interrupt the shoppers. I guess now would be the perfect time to do that. And let's see. Doesn't really matter what I put out because it'll all get sold eventually. I think there's still plenty of time to sell my necklace. I'll go ahead and just try and get through everything. It would be actually kind of neat if we left with an empty bag. We've only done that, I think, maybe once. Just over 100k now. And with the traffic has also been an increase in people coming and speaking to us. So if the sales continue to roll in, I think our number one spot will be very easily secured. No issues. 115,000. It looks like the crowd has thinned a little bit, but they may come back. You really seem to get that huge afternoon rush. I would say in between 1 p.m. and 3 p.m. kind of seems to be the busiest point of the day. Sorry, Angelo. I know that was awfully greedy of me. Ooh, Grandpa. Yes. Okay, well, that is amazing. Yes. You can talk to me about anything you'd like. I always get so excited when I see the old man show up. Oh man, buying our entire bag of grass seeds? Yes, sir. Thank you. Now, tragically, the only downfall there was he bought the bag that was already pretty much empty. So we only got 8,000 extra dollars. It would have been better, of course, if he had bought the bag that was completely full, but I'm not gonna complain. A sale's a sale. That's just one less thing for me to bring home, and that's one step closer to getting a better amount of sales. And we still have about 2 hours left at this point. So if I put out the wool and the bottled chestnuts, that's absolutely everything that I brought today. And I'm shocked. I thought with the little amount of inventory that we had, it would have had me putting out all of my items way earlier, but I guess the quantity actually made a difference in this case, because I did have 70 salads and I had 20 eggs. I think my yams and my eggplants were around the 20 mark as well, and then not to mention my seeds. So I guess the quantity that I brought did kind of make it so that the items stretched out a little bit further. So that's good news. Finally sold our necklace, which just put us over 200k. Still kind of a low sales day for us, because I'm going to be closing up in less than an hour, and the fact that I just pushed into the 200k range is a little bit slow. A little bit slower than usual, but that's okay. I'm only doing it for the results and not for the money. God knows I don't need the money. I'm gonna need to build a vault for my $1.7 million that I'm not using, after all. A few last minute sales here to close things out, which is fantastic. I'm gonna end 6 o'clock on the dot with $227,000, which is pretty decent, seeing as how I went from 200,000 to 227,000 in a really short period of time. So that's kind of nice. We had short bursts of a lot of people coming to the counter and rapid buying our items, and our traffic was pretty consistent all the way throughout the day. Certainly nothing special about today, but it was a good day regardless. And because we've started to cook more food now, you'll want to pay attention to if Chen is selling oil, if you need that for cooking, if he's selling curry powder that week and you want to pick some of that up, because it does alternate and it does change. So just kind of keep your eye out and make sure to check every single week. I think 25 will be more than enough. And it's a good idea to keep an eye on the other stalls as well. Claire will sell cooked rice, which is great because it cuts out the step of you having to actually grow the rice and then cook it yourself. And it's used in a huge, vast amount of dishes. I'm going to be keeping my eye out. Unfortunately, today she's not selling any. So the cooking oil is really the only ingredient we're going to be picking up today. I don't need any of the food that I'm seeing. Felix has a replacement bell today, if I need that. And he also has chocolate. He always has chocolate. I think from day one he's always sold it, and that doesn't change. But chocolate is also used in a lot of recipes. We've been buying them to give out as gifts. I spent quite a bit of money on chocolate last year when we were kind of running out of gifts. But in order to make some desserts, it might be a good idea to pick up a few of these if you're thinking of experimenting with some cooking. And then over at Diego's, he has a certain blue orb that I'm very interested in. So he will start to sell Wonderfuls for the first time in fall. And hallelujah, this is a magnificent Wonderful to buy, and I cannot believe how cheap it is. For this stage of the game, I really feel like they could be charging a lot more money for this, but I'll take it. For 10k to greatly shorten the amount of time it takes to make items, yes please. Thank you, sir. A very routine day, walking away with next to nothing. Just because I don't need anything. I will buy more stuff for cooking the next time I'm at the bazaar if I feel like I need to do that. If there's anything available for me to buy, if there's anything that I need. Very interesting that we still have salads. I guess people are just not interested in my tomato salads. I had that out for the entire day that we were at the bazaar, and we only sold 20 to 30 of them. So I guess we're taking it back for yet another week. Alright, Felix, lay it on us. We've out-earned Sherry by about $100,000. But I think that's fairly impressive that she was able to make that amount of money considering she's only selling 2 products. The same 2 products. I would say if this was a realistic game, if we were looking at this in a realistic light, it would probably be Wilbur or Lloyd that were our biggest competitors because they actually are selling some very expensive big ticket items. Excellent. Even though I ripped Angelo off, I still got the Best Customer Service Award. And I'm sure I'm gonna get some more tea. Yep. Good old predictable Felix giving me the same thing each week. And apparently we are making some real progress into upgrading our bazaar all the way to 100%, which is fantastic. The longer that takes me to achieve, the longer I'm gonna play. So I have a feeling it will still probably take us up until winter at least in order to achieve that. So I'm not watching it too closely, but another day in the bag, and we now have another week to get through. And as I discussed in the last video, I will do another cooking type of episode. I'll probably combine both of the cooking festivals with a little bit of cooking of my own. So it is gonna be kind of another cooking heavy week, which I hope people don't mind. It's one of the areas that I've sort of neglected. And it's fun, not only as a completionist to kind of get the recipe book all filled out, but it's nice when you've been saving a bunch of ingredients and you can use them up and you can use them in multiple things. I will play for a few days now, and then I will be doing coverage of our cooking festival. Hopefully we can win this year. I have a good feeling about our chances, so fingers crossed there. And then it will be time once again for our weekly bazaar. Thank you all so very much for watching, and I hope that I will see you next time.